Howdy folks, today we're looking at The Birth Call from 1999 in Eddie Campbell Comics. The end of the century was an auspicious era for the team of Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell. After a decade of hard labor, their horror masterpiece From Hell was finally completed and collected in a single volume. The collaboration was successful enough that multiple smaller projects were spawned in its wake, such as our specimen today, a comic book adaptation of a spoken word performance of Moore's, staged only once, 4 years previous on 18 November 1995 at the Old County Court in Newcastle upon Tyne. Although it should come as no surprise that Moore and Campbell know how to make good comic books together, there's still an element of unknown alchemy at work here. This wasn't supposed to be a comic book script, and it doesn't tell a conventional story. Campbell was given a free hand to adapt the manuscript as he saw fit. The result is a true hybrid of two different approaches to comic book making. Alan Moore's voice rings like a clarion throughout, a guiding and compassionate intelligence in every syllable, but the visual narrative flows with the free hand of a collage, a game of tag between Moore's recollection and Campbell's ability to represent often very abstract ideas through the medium of ink and paper and photo paste-up. The progress of the narrative is backwards, ever backwards, beginning with the death of Moore's mother in 1995 and the discovery in her private effects of a small wrinkled flap of skin, severed from squawking infant and cherished as a strange memento. Moore's mother was born with a birth call, and from this artifact Moore constructs elaborate mystical significance, a rare keepsake of life in the most ancient cave of human existence, the mother's womb. Moore's story traces ever backwards through to early maturity, young manhood, youth, infancy, and ultimately his own tenure in gestation and genesis and conception, and before even that conception, the antechamber of creation itself. From a small flap of severed skin to the antithesis of being, the great Magus draws us in his wake, and Campbell draws the world as revealed through the lights on the primal cave wall. There's an anguish at the heart of the piece that resists critique. The birth call is a primal yawp in the direction of that most fundamental of all human griefs, the traumatic schism of birth. Our mother and our father create us from almost nothing, and then if we're lucky, we are afforded the privilege of shepherding our own mother and father back to that primal nothing. What's left? A box of ashen remains. The curtain trembles. This is not a work to be revisited casually, premised as it is on a ritual exhumation of the most personal shared agonies. This is also perhaps Moore's most personal work, autobiographical in form and function, vulnerable and unfulfilled at once.